This is a selfie video. This video is shot with an iPhone X XS Max Ultimate Pro, whatever they happen to be calling it these days. And in this video, I'm going to teach you to make better smartphone videos, specifically selfie videos. But these techniques that I'm about to teach you really apply to any type of video that you shoot with your smartphone. You're just going to be turning the phone around and shooting someone else instead of yourself. We're going to start with talking about why you might want to make selfie videos for your business. Then I'll give you some ideas for the types of videos you would, could, should be making. After that, we'll explore how to plan, script, and shoot your videos, along with some tips on overcoming anxiety and self-doubt, no budget and low budget gear. And I'll actually shoot and edit a little demo video using all the techniques I'm about to teach you. Finally, I'll talk a little bit about publishing and hosting your video. That's a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. And along the way, we're going to give you a little tour of Albuquerque as well. So the first question you might be asking is why? Why should I make smartphone videos for my business? Well, for the past year, it's been my personal mission to help businesses become more human. And to explain what I mean, I'm going to play a clip that I have played a number of times in the past, but it's always worth playing again. And it was delivered as the closing keynote at last year's Social Media Marketing World 2019 by Mr. Mark Schaefer. I'm going to let Mark explain it.
Somebody asked me, Mark, you talk about this rebellion. What's going on with this rebellion? What's the purpose? There's always an endpoint to every rebellion. And I said, in my mind, the customers have just had it. They're tired of the robocalls. I mean, think about it. In medicine, we use technology to extend life. And in physics, we use technology to look into the origins of the universe. And in marketing, we use technology to find new ways to annoy people. And it just has to stop. And in my mind, the customers are at our door and they're holding up this sign that says, respect me. Respect my life. Respect my time. Respect my privacy. And you know what? That's all of us. And the first step you can take when you go home to move toward this human-centered marketing that will get you invited to that 2/3 is look what you're doing in your companies. And if you're doing stuff that people hate, stop it. Stop doing what people hate. Thank you.
Now, if you haven't seen Mark speak before or haven't read his book, Marketing Rebellion, I highly recommend it, and I think that you'll be convinced, as I am, that possibly at no other time, possibly in history, has been more important for companies to show their human side, to show that there are real people behind the products, the services, the marketing, and frankly, the advertising that they are bombarding us with every single day.
Stop doing what people hate.
So to be more human, we have to be more willing to expose our flaws and our frailties. And I think selfie video is a really great way to do that, as these examples will attest.
In many cases, I'm the first person that they may actually speak with at Gordian.
I love this selfie video that I saw on LinkedIn from voice actor Tracy Lindley, just talking about the challenges of working at home, something that I think a lot of people can really identify with right now.
So this is about to be real life for a lot of us, working from home while we are supposed to be looking all professional. I've been working from home ever since I started my career in voiceover, back when my baby over there was still in utero. So she's 5 now, and I still have, she's not 5, she's 4. She's 4.
Okay, Glenn, I get it, but what am I supposed to talk about? Okay, here's where I'm going to give you just 4 examples of the types of videos you would, could, should be making for your business. I have a lot more, and I'll list those in the additional resources that you can download later. Now, this first example is one that I call the customer service video. And in this example, we're introducing our Gordian customers to our customer service team. Notice in this video, we don't talk that much about customer service. It's really all about the people.
Yeah, everybody has a story, you know, and I like listening to what that story is. I like hearing what they have to say.
I used to weigh 392 pounds, and so I've lost over 170 pounds, so I feel like even that shows how hard of a worker I am.
I know how I like to be treated, and I like to hear a friendly voice on the other end of the phone.
I cook. I teach my sons to cook.
I used to live in Jersey.
I have a t-shirt business. It's Universal Apparel Designs. I make shirts with positive messages.
This next video example is one that I call the FAQ video, and one that sales guru Marcus Sheridan calls the 80% video. See, according to Marcus, 80% of all the questions asked on the first sales call are the same question over and over again. So why not just address those 80% of questions in a video or a series of video? And then when you do finally have that first sales contact with a potential customer, all of that time can be spent addressing the 20% of very specific questions that people have. Now Marcus, in addition to being an international man of mystery and international speaker, owns a pool company, River Pools and Spas. And according to him, the #1 question that they get is something like, how much do in-ground pools cost? So they decided to do a video about it. Check out this video. Look at the views that it got on YouTube, over 374,000 views.
We're going to tackle a pretty big question today. How much do in-ground pools cost?
So just like Mark Schaefer, if you haven't seen Marcus Sheridan speak, you really should. You should also read some of his content, and I'll put a link to his content in the additional resources that you can download later. Now this video is one that I call customer outreach, and you can use it to reach out to existing customers, send them personal information, important information, reach out to sales leads, or anything that you think would benefit from a more personal message would be a good candidate for this video type. In this example that I'm about to show you, Gordian's VP of Healthcare sent this personal message out to his clients in an email link, and he also placed it on LinkedIn.
Hey guys, Scott Creekmore here, Vice President of Healthcare at Gordian. I just want to take a couple seconds to thank everybody in the healthcare industry that is working right now so diligently to help us overcome this, the doctors and nurses, but in particular, I really want to take a quick shout out to the healthcare facility personnel at each of the agencies here. You guys are the guys that are scurrying around in the ceiling tiles, you're crawling around in the basement, you're making those facilities safe and ready to go to help us in this time of need.
Now this fourth and final example is internal communications. And at Gordian, our executive team has really caught the selfie bug. Now, I'm going to show you a few clips, and for obvious reasons, I can't show you too much of it because it's proprietary information now, but you'll get to see what I'm talking about.
Hey Gordian, I just wanted to do my third quarter update on where we are financially.
Hello Gordian. You may be wondering where I disappeared to for the last 3 or so months.
Hey Gordian, thanks for taking a couple of minutes to tune in today. I'm Mark Schiff.
So those are just 4 examples, like how I did that, it's magic, of videos that you would, could, should be shooting for your business. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a lot more, and I'll list those in the additional resources that you can download later. And now it's time to talk about how to make your smartphone video. Finally, right? Let's go. But just because you're shooting your video with a smartphone doesn't mean that you should just hold the phone up and wing it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't edit it either. And I'll talk about editing a little bit later. But whether you're shooting it with a smartphone or with a full crew, like all good content, a good video starts with planning. And planning starts with asking yourself, why are you making this video? What are you trying to achieve? And what do you want your customers to do once they've watched it? I always suggest getting started with a creative brief, and I've included one in the additional resources that you can download later. See, being forced to think about who your audience is, what your message is, what you want to achieve with this video, what you want them to do, that's a great first step in creating a successful video that's going to work for you and for your audience. It's also a great way to get started with this next step, which is scripting or writing an outline. Now, if you're shooting a candid video like that customer service example that I showed earlier, you definitely don't want to script that. It'll just strip all of the life out of it. But if you're doing any kind of explainer video, instructional video, or any type of selfie video, it'll really help to write a script or at least an outline to get your thoughts in order and to be able to refer to it while you're shooting. Planning and scripting isn't just the first step in getting organized, it's also the first step in overcoming nervous anxiety. Because if you plan it, outline it, script it out, practice, I said practice, you'll be able to say it with utter confidence and you'll just sound so smart. Now, before we get into actually shooting some video, here are a couple more tips to help you feel more comfortable in front of the camera. You or someone else is going to edit this thing one way or another. At the very least, you don't want to publish a video where we see you hitting the start and stop button. And yes, I am wearing 2 pairs of glasses. Since it's going to be edited, you don't have to shoot one long take and get it right the first time. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Instead, shoot short clips that you can edit together into a longer video and shoot as many takes as you need to until you're happy with it. It's a lot easier to shoot a short clip without making a mistake than it is to shoot a long one. Now take a look at this video that I made recently. In this video, I'm going to show you not one, but 2 variations on this very simple drink that you can make at home. Now it's the same thing as a lemon drop, but what the heck, let's call it a quarantini. You start with a simple syrup. So that opening, it's only 8 seconds long, but it took me 7 takes to get it right. 7, I just couldn't get the words out. Now the whole video is only 2 minutes, but it took me almost 4 hours to shoot it. This video that you're watching right now, I scripted out 54 scenes. Now that's a lot, but this is a long video. So shoot your takes as many times as necessary and then move on. Okay, so here we are at what is probably going to be the final outdoor location, the roof of my house, because I wanted you to see the Sandia Mountains out there, and it's getting pretty hot outside now. The sun's getting pretty bright, so I'm going to be moving inside in a second. But we're almost ready to talk about shooting. I'll give you some technical tips on getting the best quality with what you already have, a smartphone, and I'll also show you some very low-cost additional equipment you can use to up your game even more. I'm going to discuss 3 key topics: framing, lighting, and audio. But before I do, I want to play this little video I created as part of a series of tutorials on shooting better selfie videos. Before you shoot your video, let's talk about how to hold your phone. Please hold it horizontally. Do not make me watch a vertical video. Think of it not as a phone or a calculator, but as a video camera or a movie camera. Movies are always shot horizontally. Ever been in a vertical movie theater? I think not. What the? Final take. Ever been to a vertical movie theater? Probably not. Movies are usually shown in widescreen, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's the way we see the world. It's the way our peripheral vision works. But you say, Glenn, I'm shooting a video for Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, and everybody looks at their feed like this. Everyone's holding their phone vertically. Okay, great. You want to shoot a video from your phone or calculator that goes directly to social media? Go right ahead, but I still plead with you to hold it horizontally. And that is because horizontal video can easily be cropped into a vertical format. It's not always so easy or effective to crop a vertical video into a horizontal format. So horizontal video will offer you the most flexibility. Finally, this is what a vertical video looks like on YouTube. The YouTube player is horizontal, so it adds black bars on either side of the video. That's called letterboxing. It looks terrible. So just don't do it. Say no to vertical video, my friend. Okay, enough said on that topic. Let's talk about framing. Here's another clip from my Shooting Better Selfie video series. Always try to keep your camera, whether it's your laptop or your phone, at eye level. There's really no reason that I should be looking up your nostrils or at your double chin. And another thing is pay attention to the background. It could be very distracting for the viewer. So in general, keep your camera at eye level. Now, if you have a phone, you can put it in a stand, or with your phone or laptop, you can prop it up on a table on some boxes or a bunch of books, but the key is to keep it eye level. Also, I'm looking straight into the lens, so it looks like I'm speaking directly to you. Now, if I watch myself while I'm filming this, I'm not looking at the lens, I'm looking at the display on my phone. The same goes for working on a laptop. So on a phone, the lens is on one side or the other. My lens happens to be over here. So if I'm looking at you and not looking into the lens, it feels like I'm distracted. It doesn't feel like I'm speaking to you at all. So look directly into the lens. You'll also notice that I have positioned myself on one side of the frame. I've positioned myself on the opposite side of the frame from where my lens is. And in that way, I am looking into the frame and guiding the viewer's eye into the frame as well. It also allows me to do fun things like this.
11 deaths at Delta Chi House this year, 9 of them sad.
It's a very common technique known as the rule of thirds. Another thing that's often overlooked is headroom. I'm allowing myself just a little bit of space on top so I don't feel too crowded in the frame, but I'm filling most of the frame vertically with my body. I also have the bottom of the frame right about chest height. This seems to be right about perfect because I'm not too close and I'm not too far. Well, actually, that's not too bad, but I'm not across the room. So this is a really nice framing. So when it comes to framing, the key things to remember are pay attention to the background. Keep the camera at eye level. Look directly into the lens. Position yourself to one side of the frame. Pay attention to the headroom. Frame it just below the chest. Do these things and you'll be well on your way to making better quality selfie videos. Now here's a little tip that requires a little bit of extra work, but I can guarantee you it will save you a lot of frustration in the long run. Write the name of your video segment and a take number on a notebook and hold that in front of the camera before you hit record. That way, when you look through your camera roll, it'll be easy to see right on the thumbnail image what you're looking at. And then you can delete all of the bad takes and only keep the good one. Not only will that save you a lot of storage space, but it'll also ensure that you're selecting the right take when it comes to uploading your files. Now let's talk about lighting. We'll start by using what you already have available, and that's the sun. Here's another clip. So I'm sitting here in my office opposite a window, and the sun is so bright here in Albuquerque that I've put a sheet over the window. But the important thing is to sit facing the window. Don't sit with the window or any other light source behind you, and I'll show you why. This is what it looks like when I sit in the front of the window with the window behind me. As you can see, it's really not useful at all. So again, always try to sit facing the window rather than with the window behind you. Now, one problem that I have is that I wear glasses, so I can't really look into the light directly where it might be more flattering on my face because of the glare in the lenses. So I have myself positioned at a slight angle to the window to help eliminate some of that glare in my glasses. I'm also trying to keep my head down because, as you can see, if I look up, I get that glare. So that's something to be conscious of as well. Another problem that I have that you may face as well is that my office only has one window, and the light changes so quickly here in Albuquerque that I have a very limited time frame in which to shoot these videos and actually be able to use the natural light. So you may have to do the same thing. You may have to adjust your schedule to get the best results using the natural light that you have available to you. All right, so I've only been shooting about half an hour, and already you can see that the light has changed and I've lost most of that nice direct natural sunlight. So now I'm going to show you 2 inexpensive selfie ring lights that I found on Amazon.com. The first is this $38 ring light that comes with a nice 8-inch adjustable head, a height adjustable stand, and an adjustable cell phone holder. The second one is this much smaller, maybe 3 or 4-inch ring light that is on a gooseneck arm. I have it clipped to a stool here for the height, and it also has an adjustable cell phone holder. Now, these two things didn't come together, and I didn't think that this one was quite bright enough. but it works great as a fill light. My recommendation would be to buy both of them if you're going to buy anything, or just the big one. But for under 50 bucks, you get these two lights, you have a lot more options. And by the way, you can also see that I have my iPad mounted to a mic stand here, and I'm using that for my notes. So final thoughts on lighting. Whenever possible, use natural sunlight. Pay attention to the position of the camera, the position of your body. Look out for glare in the glasses. Pay attention to the position of the window. When you lose that light or it's not possible to use the natural sunlight, I'd suggest purchasing this 8-inch $38 ring light from Amazon.com or this 3-inch $13 ring light, or maybe spring for both. Now, one of the things I didn't mention in that video was that these ring lights, they are USB powered, which is great because you can plug them into a laptop, you can plug them into a wall outlet with a standard USB AC adapter, or better yet, you can plug them into one of these things. This is the USB external battery, rechargeable battery. And I've had this one for, God knows, a lot of years, and I've used it so many times, it never seems to run out of power. But it's great because you can just plug that baby in there, and voila, you have light on the go. And the other great thing about this is that your phone, obviously when you're shooting video, you're going to be using a lot of battery power. So you can run your phone off this as well if you're out shooting in the field and your phone starts running low. This has saved me countless number of times. You should get one of these things. Now I'm going to talk about one of the most overlooked yet important things to consider when working to improve your selfie videos. And that, my friend, is audio. In fact, it's proven by scientific studies. Science! That people are more willing to watch crappy image quality if the audio sounds good than they are willing to watch great video quality if the sound is crappy. Trust me on this one. I'll show you 3 options for recording your audio. The first 2 are using tools that you already have available to you, the built-in mic and earbuds that came with your phone, and the third is using a third-party microphone, this Rode SmartLav Plus. Let's take it back outside. Check out this clip. Okay, this is a pretty typical situation that you might shoot in, standing on a city corner with traffic running by. I'm also using a selfie stick, so I'm a little bit further away from the phone. Now, I'm using the onboard microphone on the phone to record this audio, and you can just see how it picks up every noise about how it looks crappy and it sounds crappy. Now I'm going to show you how much you can improve your video just by plugging a microphone into them. I'm using the earbuds that came with my phone. Sure, it doesn't look great because I have my earbuds in. But if you're just out on location, you want to grab your phone, you want to get some quick video with some decent audio that's much better than the onboard mic, plug in your earbuds. You're going to get a much better quality video. Okay, here we are, same situation, still on the city corner, but now I'm wearing this Rode lavalier microphone. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And here we are inside using the built-in mic. Not as extreme a difference as outside, but I still don't think it sounds really that great. Especially if you're more than a few feet from the camera, it just sounds terrible. And again, using the earbuds, the sound quality is much better, but it doesn't look as good with these things dangling from your ears, and you can't move very far away from the camera. And finally, here's my favorite option, the Rode SmartLav Plus. Just take that off so you can see it. If I was only going to buy one piece of gear for making these videos, it would be this microphone. This is the most expensive piece of equipment I'm recommending, but still pretty darn cheap compared to professional gear at 79 bucks. Get it from B&H Photo or Amazon. Again, I'll link to it in the additional resources. And with the addition of a 20-foot extension cable, I can get really far away from the camera and still have great sound. But there are a couple important things to know about this setup, and I'm going to show them to you right now. Okay, so I'm back to using the onboard mic. I have unplugged the Rode SmartLav Plus because there's something I want to show you. I have an iPhone, and of course, like all things Apple, just to be difficult and make you spend more of your hard-earned cash, they got rid of the standard audio jack. So now everything uses this little lightning connector, but the Lav does not. It uses a TRRS pin on the end of it. So in order to get the TRRS pin into the iPhone, I have to use this little connector. I paid $9 for this at Walmart. Of course, you can also get it at the Apple Store as well, but instead of $9, it's probably $99 for this little thing, but it's well worth it. Well, you have to have it if you have an iPhone, right? Now, I don't know about Android phone, if they have these little lightning connectors or not, but if you're an Android user, you know the answer to that one. And if you want one of these extension cables, you need to be really careful that you're getting the right one. You can't just use a standard mini pin headphone extension, which is a TRS cable. It's got to be a TRRS cable. And I read so many reviews of people getting ripped off buying cheap Chinese knockoffs that were supposed to work with the mic but didn't, that I bought the Rode branded cable to ensure that it would be compatible. This cable isn't cheap at $25, but it's well worth the price for me, and it works great. Okay, you've planned it, you've outlined it or scripted it, you've practiced it, you set your phone up so that it's at eye level, you've worked on your framing, you've got your lighting and your audio set, you've written your scene and take number on a slate, and now it's time to hit record. Now I'm going to do a little demo recording session, just 3 short clips to show you how to bring all of this together. Then I'll talk a little bit about editing. Here we go. Start by holding up your slate before you hit the record button. And here we go. Hi, I'm Glenn. And this is just a short little demo video to show you how easy it is to make high quality smartphone videos once you've learned a few basic concepts and practice. I said practice, practice. It's really pretty easy. It's really pretty easy. So now I'm going to show you how to put that all together in iMovie on my phone. Okay, so that's it. We recorded our little demo, and now we're going to hop into iMovie, and I'm just going to give you a brief overview of how simple it is to put that all together and create a nice little movie. Now, my apologies to Android users. I have an iPhone. I don't have an Android phone available, so I can't demonstrate that. But this segment won't be too long, and all of the techniques apply to Android as well. So let's jump over into iMovie, and I'll show you how to put this together. So the first thing we're going to do is open up iMovie. Hit the plus sign to create a new project. It's going to be a movie project, and we can see my thumbnails with my slates there. I'll pick my 3 clips, hit create movie, and there we have a timeline. It's added to 3 clips to my timeline. We can scroll through that to the beginning, and now I'm going to just trim the front part of that clip off, and I'm looking for the spot where I just start talking. Right about right there. Okay, now we'll trim the back of that clip off. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this transition. I'll show you that in a minute. Let's trim the back of that clip off right to where I stopped talking about, maybe right there. And then let's trim the front of this next clip off. Again, I'm looking for where I just start talking, right? That looks like it, about right there. Then we'll trim the back of the clip off, right to where I stopped talking. Practice, there, right about right there. Here, I'll show you that transition. That it's a dissolve, but I like to use cuts, so I'm just going to get rid of that transition there. Okay, now we trim the front of the third clip off. Again, looking for just the spot where I start talking. Right, let's see, right about there. Maybe a little more. There, that looks good, right there. Okay, now we trim the back of it off to get an ending. right after I stop talking right there.
Hi, I'm Glenn, and this is just a short little demo video to show you how easy it is to make high-quality smartphone videos once you've learned a few basic concepts and practice. I said practice, practice. It's really pretty easy. So now I'm going to show you how to put that all together in iMovie on my phone.
Okay, I'm going to go back and trim that middle clip a little bit more because I think it was still just a little bit too long. I want it to be really short. Right at the end there.
Concepts.
See what that looks
and
like.
Practice. I said practice. Practice. It's really pretty easy.
Okay, that looks a lot better. And now what I'm going to do is add some effects to make it a little bit more interesting. I think for that middle clip, we're just going to make it black and white. And we're going to add some music to it. So we go to audio, go to my music, and let's see what we have here. Oh, I like this one, Back at the Chicken Shack. I believe this is Jimmy Smith. We're going to add that in there. We'll play it. We get to hear it with music.
Video to show you how easy it is to make high-quality smartphone videos once you've learned a few.
And if I want, I can change the volume of that. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit because I really did that song.
And practice.
There we go. That sounds pretty good. There's my black and white section, and now I'm going to fade in from black at the beginning. I'm going to fade out to black at the end, and let's take a final look-see at this thing.
And this is just a short little demo video to show you how easy it is to make high-quality smartphone videos once you've learned a few basic concepts and practice. I said practice. Practice. It's really pretty easy. So now I'm going to show you how to put that all together in iMovie on my phone.
Okay, we are ready to save this and export it. So what we're going to do is go down and hit the share button there. And what I want to do is save this video to my Photos app on my phone. So I say save the video. I'm going to save it in full size, which is HD 1080p. Exporting movie to my photos. And now if I go to my photos library, let's take one final look at the finished video. Hi, I'm Glenn, and this is just a short little demo video to show you how easy it is to make high-quality smartphone videos once you've learned a few basic concepts and practice. I said practice. Practice. It's really pretty easy. So now I'm going to show you how to put that all together in iMovie on my phone. Of course, you can do a lot more by downloading the clips to your computer and using professional editing software. Personally, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, but for the purposes of this video, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. We have covered a lot of ground so far, but now that we have a finished video, what do we do with it? Well, where you publish it, how you host it, how you use analytics to measure success metrics, that's marketing. And that's all subject matter for a whole other presentation. But I will talk about it just a little bit before I wrap up, because I don't want to just leave you hanging there watching it on your phone. So where you host it and what you do with it really depends on the type of video and what your goals are for it. At the most basic, if you've made an awareness level video, you'll want as many people as possible to see it. So depending on the marketing channels you usually use, you can post it to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Vimeo, and of course your own website. But if you post it on social media, I recommend uploading it natively to each of those platforms rather than linking or embedding a YouTube video. That's because the algorithms running those platforms are designed to keep the viewer on their platform. Facebook wants you watching Facebook video. Instagram wants you watching Instagram video. And in fact, we now have IGTV or Instagram TV, which allows you to upload videos up to an hour long. They've created IGTV as a direct competitor to YouTube. So upload your video to each site individually. For your website, you can embed a YouTube video, a Vimeo video, or use another video hosting platform. With YouTube, you're probably going to have ads and suggested videos at the end that may have nothing whatsoever to do with your business. And there's really nothing you can do about that. YouTube makes their money off of advertising. With Vimeo, you can embed your video without the ads and you have more control over the experience. But YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, and it's owned by the biggest one, Google. So you definitely want to have your video on YouTube. So my suggestion would be to upload your video to both and embed the Vimeo version on your website. However, there is a better option, and that is to use a third-party hosting platform. I highly doubt there's a better one than Vidyard. We use the enterprise version at Gordian, and there's so many features and benefits to using Vidyard that I don't think I could do my job without it. It would be very difficult. The good news is that there is a free version, yes, free, that allows you to host up to 5 videos on your website. No ads, no recommended dancing cat videos. And the paid options are very reasonable also, starting at just $15 a month for hosting up to 20 videos on your site. Now, this is not a paid ad for Vidyard, and I don't want it to seem like one, so I won't go any further than to say, check it out. I can't think of a single reason not to. Link in the additional resources. So that's it, folks. I hope you found this information valuable and hope it helps you make smartphone videos that work for your business. Now, I've added links to all the people and gear I mentioned in this video, a blank creative brief, an outline of everything I've talked about for future reference, and my social links in the additional resources. So make sure to download those and don't hesitate to reach out to me personally if you have any questions. I'd love to help any way I can. I'm Glenn Hughes. Thanks for watching and have a great day.